can't see! I really can't see. Poor Isaac having to go through this again.
Collision detected in the main hangar bay. Emergency crews have been notified.
Oh. Wow, screw you!
What the hell is happening down there? What happened to the shuttle?
That was our ride home. It's the only way off the ship.
Kendra,
No, Hammond! This changes everything!
just let me think.
Shut up, Kendra!
Can you access the command computer?
It's no good. There's an executive lockdown of all primary systems.
It's
Without
no
the captain's
use!
authorization, I can't access them.
Well, where's the
It's this
captain?
way.
Here he is. Captain Benjamin Mathias. Location? Med lab. Status? Deceased.
Deceased.
How?
I can't access that information. Find the captain and you'll find his rig. With his authorization codes, I can crack this computer wide open.
Damn it. Isaac, I'm sending the tram back to your location. Get to the medical deck and find that rig as fast as you can.
What was that?
If only Kendra had just died. Welp. Hey guys! We reached the store! Wow, so is level 6 the suit that it was talking about, I assume? Yes, military suit. Wow, 99,000! 99,000! Well, here, let me save beforehand then. If I can't. What the fuck? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't matter. Time to sell the Ripper. All for you guys. Level 6 suit. And then we'll look at the backlog stuff. One moment, please. Shing. Damn! Now that's a suit I like. Now that looks pretty awesome. Yeah, we're looking pretty badass. Although the helmet looks a little like a... Damn it! Yes, I didn't use the flamethrower, which is actually like the first weapon that I really wanted. Okay, so... Let's see, this is not gonna...
Isaac.
I guess you can't watch the whole thing, huh?
I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything.
Yeah, I guess it won't let me watch past it. I guess it's like denial,
It's
I
all
think.
falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening. It's
So like the last time, it went
That's a
fuzzy.
little thing.
Yeah, you can't watch all of it. So the question is... Yeah, see, I don't think we saw some of these things. I know, Elko! I was hoping it would! That's one of the reasons I looked. Excerpts from The False Messiah, a book banned on Earth in most colonies. A religion is born. When Michael Altman went public with his research on the black marker, the world was teetering on the brink of self-destruction. Oh, wow. That's really sad. I mean, obviously we found that out, but... Damn. It sure does. Wow. I really like that. I like that was planned out like that. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna look at some of these and then we'll start Dead Space 2. Wow! Screw you, Frost. When Michael Altman went public with his research on the black marker, okay, many people, myself included, felt civilization was at an end. We couldn't change the world by ourselves, and most of us didn't want to. What Altman offered us, this chance at a rebirth for humanity, was exactly what our hungry, empty souls were looking for. Practically overnight, our hope for humanity was renewed. Millions flocked to his conferences to hear him profess to know the way to a new beginning. We stared in awe at the evidence of the alien artifact that would, change everything. And we did whatever he told us to. We rallied against the government. We joined together in congregations to share his word. We prepared ourselves for the future he said was coming. Where were you when Michael Altman was assassinated by our government? It's the question of our generation, I suppose. It's certainly the day when everything changed for me and the world. The martyring of the scientist-turned-savior Michael Altman begat fanatical zealots, and I was one of them. We birthed and maintained the tenements of a new religion, known now as the Church of Unitology. I was only a follower, but I was suddenly part of the biggest social movement in history. The riots that followed and the crippling of our government made us realize we finally had the power to change things. Yeah, change is one way to look at it. No one knows what is contained in the black marker. Some claim it contains a genetic string that grants immortality through gene therapy. Others say it contains the DNA of an alien life form. Even Altman confessed to not knowing exactly what it is for. The marker has been used to form the basic doctrines of the Church. As claimed in the popular book, Death is Only the Beginning, humans will learn that by death of their worldly spirit, they will be reborn in unity as a stronger, unending community. Unity is forever. That's a very interesting thing that you were doing at that moment in time, Largo. That's kind of sad that 2 doesn't. Especially when 3 does, apparently. Death is an important event in the journey of a unitologist, and seen as a necessary step to being reborn. The body is considered holy, and it may not be cremated or allowed to decay in the ground. The bodies are given to the church for safekeeping. That's not creepy at all. Where they are taken is unknown, but I have seen massive unitology compounds on all the major settlements I have visited. Curious, I asked around. No one would tell me what was housed inside, but I uncovered evidence of massive shipments of preservative chemicals being sent to the compounds on a regular basis. It was around this time that my superior, Paragon Fontenay, brought me in for my first soul cleansing, quote-unquote. Despite the headaches and the nausea that continued to plague me, I managed to sneak into the shipyard. I'd almost regained full function of my legs and was able to make it into what appeared to be the nerve center of the operation. What I discovered were ships, massive ships, and lots of them. Stasis storage tubes lined each of the hundreds of exposed cargo bays. I couldn't see any of the bodies, but I knew what the tubes were for. What I couldn't figure out was why the church needed to transport so many suspended bodies in what looked like deep space vessels. Before I could investigate further, I was recaptured and the real soul cleansing began. RIP! Wow, there's a lot here, huh? Oh, so this is about the USG Ishimura that we boarded. Okay, as many of our older readers may recall, resource management on Earth and on the colonies was not always as streamlined as it is today. There was a time when needs could barely be met by the now extinct resources of Earth and the dwindling supplies of the colonies. Looking to the stars for additional resources, nothing new, but at the time only smaller ships were shock-pointable, and they were insufficient at keeping up with demand. Enter the Ishimura. USG Ishimura, named after astrophysicist Hideki Ishimura, inventor of the shock point drive, was the first of the massive planet cracker ships. Built 62 years ago, she has a long and storied career. The Ishimura was, well, rest in peace, the Ishimura now. Ishimura was the first vessel of her size to utilize the shock point drive for large-scale commercial deep space expeditions. At the time of her inception, the Ishimura was hailed as the savior of the Earth colonies. She was created to mine and melt down entire small planets and moons. Jesus. She was also the first ship capable of the scan and catch technique for harvesting mineral-rich asteroids. Well, we did see that room that one time that it was literally mining that asteroid that we ended up releasing with the signal on it. Using huge gravity tethers, the Ishimura can lock onto asteroids and pull them inside the ship's massive collection bays for smelting. At 62 years old, the Ishimura is still in remarkable shape. Much of the equipment has been upgraded over the years, and in remarkable shape now. Many spaces have been retrofitted to take advantage of modern advances in technology. Despite the long years of service, she is still the pride of the fleet and remains the largest planet cracker in the fleet. Whenever an important deep space mining project comes up and the Ishimura is available, she's the first ship to be called. It's ships like the Ishimura and the dedication of the men and women who crew her that have helped make Concordance Extraction Company the trusted, dependable workhouse that it is today. Rest in fucking peace. Background request. To Zach Hammond. Oh, to Hammond. Oh, is this the background? Oh, this is the background request on us. We get to read about Isaac Clarke. Per your request, here's what we could find on your hastily assembled crew. Oh, I wonder if it has Kendra in here, too. Isaac was born to Powell, and Octavia Clarke on Earth in the eastern seaboard region of the American Republic. Powell Clarke was an award... Also, I'm sorry if you're, like, not as entertained by me reading this, but I really want to read through these before we move on to Dead Space 2. Because, I don't know about you guys, but I like backstory. That's why I'm trying to at least read it out loud for you guys, you know, so it's not just me sitting here reading. Anyway. Powell Clarke was an award-winning ship architect employed by the Galactic Union Marine Corps. GUMC. Sorry, GUMC. I don't know. His record shows extended time off-world away from his family. When Isaac was born, Powell was given a temporary reassignment to an Earth-based GUMC ship production facility. During the 4-year tour, Powell and Octavia raised Isaac together. When the tour was over, Powell shipped off for an extended off-world tour. Powell's influence on his son must have rubbed off. Records indicate Isaac pursued studies in mechanical and electrical engineering and achieved high honors. Aren't we great? According to medical and psychiatric reports, Powell Clarke's absence had a profound effect on Octavia. She suffered from depression and personal anguish until doctors encouraged her to find fulfillment by working with charitable organizations. It is believed that this is how she ended up coming in contact with the Church of Unitology. Oh, rip. Her association with the church appears to have alleviated her mental condition. The cancellation of her therapy sessions corresponds with the local parish announcements of her initiation ceremony. At this point, records on her become somewhat scarce. There are indications that she sold off much of the family estate to finance her full membership of the church. Poor Isaac. Isaac appears to have been selected to a prominent engineering school, but we surmise that he was unable to afford the tuition, as records show that he instead attended a lesser-known school with the help of scholarships and financial assistance. Really, Frost? Really? Damn console people. Where am I at? Okay. After graduating with high honors, Isaac enlisted in the Merchant Marines. He quickly gained a reputation for his resourceful engineering solutions, and after 2 years was promoted to a higher profile position close to the major shipping lanes. That's kind of stupid. Why would they not give the PC any of the DLC? Thanks, EA. There are several inquiries about the location of his father that have been logged by his contacts at GUMMC. Isaac appears to have been trying to reunite with him unsuccessfully for years. It's doubtful he ever got far in his investigation, as Pal Clark's service record has been mysteriously classified by an executive order. Octavia continues to be a contributing member of her church and has managed to purchase a vested level title. Isaac's career stagnates at this point. There are records that he cohabited with a medical officer named Nicole Brennan for a couple of years. Records indicate she moved out after receiving a promotion and is currently serving on the USG Ishimura. Wait, 60% DR? What am I? Guess I should actually look at that. Oh, that's the other armor. That's kind of cool. Kind of, again, sucks that, you know, that PC people didn't get it. Okay. Oh, wow. Nice. Of course he didn't get, like, anything on Kendra. Kendra Daniels. I couldn't find anything on her in the time I had, but Dalton swears by her. She is on the mission with his recommendation. If he thinks she has the necessary skills, who am I to argue? Yeah, great. If only you had gotten background with her, knowing that she's in the government, you know, in this whole marker business, you might not have died. Planetary mining. Okay, that's almost not as interesting to me. Alright, planetary mining is quite literally the dismantling of planets and the moons on a macro scale. Entire worlds are fractured to reveal the rich seams of valuable minerals contained inside. Despite environmentalist concerns, they are perfectly safe. Large scale. You may have read reports that claim the destruction of a planet can destroy an entire solar system due to disruption in the gravitation forces that hold each... You know what's funny is I actually started to think about that. Hold each celestial object in orbit. Some of the wilder reports claim this causes the whole system to spin out of control or cause planets to smash into each other. Concerned investors are directed to read the article, "The CEC Pledge to the Health of Our Universe," for a detailed breakdown of the truths about planet cracking. The short answer is, planet cracking is perfectly safe and provides an essential service to Earth and the colonies. With all planet cracks, the planets are carefully chosen for their mineral content, net worth, and the safety with which they can be dismantled. Yeah, that had to be kind of frightening, you know? Make sure you just don't destroy the whole universe. Planet cracking is a lengthy process spanning from 3 to 5 years. Generally, the first year is spent prospecting and setting up the colony. The second year and a half involves tectonic excavation and related planet-side activities. The Planet Cracker class ship arrives between the 2.5 and 3 year mark, depending on the progress of the excavation. Once the ship is in orbit, preparation for tectonic chunk extraction begins. This takes approximately 1 week. The removal of an excavated chunk from the planet is stabilized geosynchronous orbit usually takes around 1 day, 24 standard hours. It for billions of tons of debris break off the underside of the chunk, creating an instant asteroid ring. Yeah, that's kind of dangerous, ain't it? While the floating debris is extremely dangerous, the Planet Cracker ships have an excellent asteroid defense system to keep the ship and crew safe from them. Wow. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Okay, so yeah, okay. There's a little information about the CEC, largest solar mining and extraction company in the Earth colony. It's also the 5th largest company in terms of market capital. Yeah, CEC owns over 400 deep space vehicles, including 5 planet crackers, with the famous Ishimura at its flagship. So he was first to develop deep space mining. Okay, over 3 dozen planet crackers, only 1 operation has met with less than optimum results. Many may remember the Wanat disaster 11 years ago, wherein a planet cracker, 3 supply ships, and a colony were lost due to a gravity tether failure. RIP. Recombination study. Day 3 of quarantine for the former doctors Clifton and Hogan. The infection is spreading quickly through Dr. Clifton. Dr. Hogan appears unaffected at this time. The chest of the corpse has started to expand, like it's taking a deep breath. I guess this is, again, some of the process that they've been doing. Something appears to be happening under the surface of the skin. The body is convulsing. Yellowish, briny liquid bursts from the ew, accompanied by choking noises. There's a crunching noise as the throat bulges and the jaw collapses. The head is splitting apart, reforming now into what appears to be a proboscis and feelers. Ugh. The chest splits along the center now as the flesh stretches and expands outwards. The organs, bone, and muscle bend inwards. The internal organs contort and reorganize themselves into an odd structure, central to which is a massive bladder. The bladder is filling with a liquid, some of which can be seen spilling from the proboscis? I can't speak. I can only assume the two are connected. The legs are quivering as the flesh peels away and meshes with the... Okay, so yeah, if you're a little squeamish. It meshes with the flesh from the chest region. There's a sudden snap halfway through the process. One leg bends backwards. More quivering now, and the other leg has snapped at the knee. The changes appear to be slowing now. It starts to sit up. The body is convulsing. The legs flopping. It is trying to take its first step, uneasy at first. But now it is adapting quickly. A half-dozen steps, and it seems to be perfectly at home with the new contorted form. The spattering on the glass is making observation difficult. It appears that Dr. Hogan's legs are elongating, somehow flaying themselves, and now twisting with a mixture of his own internal organs into a single appendage, like some sort of tail. His face is contorted, his jaw clenching and unclenching. Several jaw-like appendages are emerging from from his every widening... It was supposed to be ever-widening mouth? His mouth no longer God, I read so many of these, I can't speak anymore. His mouth no longer appears able to accommodate the change. His head is splitting, seems bursting. And almost instantly, he is perched on his hands, shifting his weight from one palm to the other. He's pacing, circling the room, and he appears to be watching me. He sees me. No, he's fixated on the ceiling now. Oh god, no. He's leaping at the vent. With his powerful tail-like appendage, he's striking at the reinforced covering, trying to get it open. I must warn the others. Recording end. Get wrecked. Oh, well now here's the last one. The red marker. So, I guess like what Kendra said, the black marker must be the original. The red marker is the one that they created. Altman's hasty expulsion from the project is unfortunate. His notes on the black marker appear incomplete, and our findings thus far have been inconclusive. What notes we have recovered appear to be written in a code of his devising. It will be weeks before we can decipher them. In the meantime, someone has to shut him up. His public outcry about the marker is more than a nuisance. This is a matter of security. Funding has been insufficient. Moving the research to Aegis 7 is only aggravating the problem. I understand the pressure to relocate the project outside the reach of the oversight committees, but this has only inflated our resource requirements. We are on the verge of cracking the replication code we extracted from the black marker. It would be a shame to come this far and have to scrap the project. It would be a shame, wouldn't it? The continued financial infusion over the years has been appreciated, and I'm pleased to share the results with you today. While some of our material fabrications are approximations of substance foreign to us, we have completed the internal workings of the device. One obvious difference between our replica and the original is the reddish hue. I assure you this is purely a cosmetic difference, not indicative of a flaw. Oh, thank you, Stay Hydrated Bot. I'm actually just about out of drink. Okay, the device, when activated, began to emit a highly complicated rhythmic pattern across a wide band of frequencies. From actual sound waves through the electromagnetic spectrum to alpha, delta, and theta brainwaves, it seems mostly inert and harmless aside from slight interference with communication equipment. We are proceeding with the final construction. We've run into a disturbing but fascinating find. In recreating the DNA instructions gleaned from the black marker, we've managed to create a recombinant microbial life form. It seemed dormant at first, even when placed in a bath of rich nutrients. Were it not for Dr. Clifton's poor hygiene, we might have deemed the attempt a failure. Fortunately for us, he had not fully decontaminated himself before working with the sample and managed to contaminate it with some dead skin cells. Suddenly, the microbes jumped into action. Recombination happened almost instantly, and the sample began self-replicating and mutating before our eyes. That's not creepy at all. More confounding results from our research. Today we moved what we're now calling the red marker. We had to pass by the cellular lab area. The scientists working at the time complained about interruptions in the necrotic flesh experiments. As it turned out, the field generated by the marker creates a dead space, name of the game, around itself that forces the recombination effect into dormancy. I apologize for the setback relayed in the last report. The macro-scale infection has been contained with minimal loss of life. The newly recombinated doctors are now quarantined for further study. Many of the scientists have been complaining of headaches, and we are all having difficulty sleeping for more than an hour at a time. We suspect a problem in the ventilation system. The maintenance team reported finding a buildup of some kind blocking the airways. So that's what it's that organic mass that ended up, yeah. The organic mass continues to expand and take over the complex. The recombinated nightmares now move freely through the corridors. My remaining crew is hastily constructing a transmitter for the marker in an attempt to broaden the signal it is emanating. Dr. Foster said the idea came to him in a vision. Our hope is to use the signal to keep the unchecked infection from spreading to the landing area. There's little time remaining. You must send help as quickly as possible. Our lives are in your hands. Well, that's what you get for fucking with life. Alright, so that is, I believe, it. God damn. Okay, so that actually did kind of teach a lot, didn't it? But, I do want to start Dead Space 2 tonight. I'm not sure how far we'll get into that. We'll probably play it for at least an hour or so. But I'm going to end the stream, quickly set it up, but don't... because I need to make sure, like, the video effects and everything are alright, and that it does load properly. And I will be right back, so don't leave your seat unless you want to go get, like, a drink or a snack. Or whatever, you know. So don't touch that dial. I shall return. Yes. Basically, looking in the passenger seat, and it looked like he still saw... Nicole and, yeah, a bunch of the symbols. Like, he was still being affected. Either maybe something was still on the ship, like he's end up bringing something with him, you know, or he's slightly infected, or just after I don't know. So that's, I guess, to keep in mind, depending on where Dead Space 2 starts. I don't know if we're still going to be playing Isaac, or what. So, again, I'm going to load up Dead Space 2, and I'll go live again with the new title, and I shall return.